We return to the Waking Sands and find Ida there. She's fine, but as we know, Papalimo is taken by the Garleans. So after defeating Garuda, we take a well-earned rest for the evening.
Hear, feel, think. Bringer of light, brave gatherer of the crystals, thy soul burneth bright. I am Hydaelyn, all made one. Hearken unto me now, for the darkness doth begin to spread. The crystals shall be thy salvation, thy blade and shield both. Go with caution, my child, but fear not, for I am ever with thee.
We're woken to the sound of the door opening, only to find another scion return to the fold, Y'shtola. In the heart of Mordona lies a Garlean military base named Castrum Sentry. This base is our goal. This is where our friends are being held. And so we find ourselves returning to the icy wastes of Karthus in order to ask the Asgardians if they spied any weakness of the Garleans. The Asgardians confirm more or less what we already knew, but they do have a new piece of info for us. A Garlean airship recently made an emergency landing in the area, and this airship was almost certainly carrying our friends Biggs and Wedge. Sure enough, we find Wedge hiding under a bridge. And after a bit more investigation, we find Biggs being hunted down by some Garleans. And so we go through a quick fight and wallop the Garleans. With the Garland Ironworks crew finally reassembled with us, we can finally head to our next destination, Revenant's Toll, a settlement in Mordona managed entirely by adventurers. We're told about a drainage pipe where you can listen in on what's being said inside the castrum, and so we make the journey over to it. With confirmation that our friends are here, it's time to infiltrate the castrum. So we place some devices to block out their comms, steal one of their uniforms for a disguise, and fight off a whole squadron for their Magitech Reaper. We get it repaired, but Wedge wants us to test it. Test it. A vehicle. Isn't that kinda... Well, I guess it's fine. And of course the Garleans show up looking for their missing Magitech armor. Alright, back on track. The plan is simple. With our cool disguise, we sneak into the Garlean base and gather information on where our friends are. Oh, these guys are doomed. Using the power of social engineering, which I learned from watching 500 DEF CON presentations, we'll get the security key we need and begin the rescue mission. Around the complex are several hidden shield generators which I have to walk to and destroy. It was pretty rough, as I'm sure you can imagine. things aren't looking so good for us. And even when we're all together, this is just way too many Garleans. Sid tells us to take a leap of faith, and so we have no choice but to follow his advice. And unfortunately, we have to abandon the Magitech armor. Once again, we meet our friend Gaius.
Not which is more pitiful, the charlatans who rule Eorzea, or the masses that clamor for their implausible panaceas. I see that which they cannot. This realm founders for want of a ruler with true power. The power to cast down icons.
What in the seven hells? Oh no. It's here.
12 preserve us. They finished it. Ultima weapon.
So it has a name.
It is a relic of ancient Alag, excavated from its resting place deep beneath Alamigo.
Look! There, beside the Black Wolf. An Ascian.
La Habrea. It could only be him. Thancred!
Despite Thancred having been possessed by an Ascian, we have no choice but to get out of here. The city-state leaders, seeing how things have gone down with the Ultima weapon, nearly decide to surrender entirely. We show up just in the nick of time and convince them to go on the offense. With the promise of the leaders, we return to the Waking Sands and get ready for the next stage of the conflict. You want me to get a chocobo? Fine, I'll get one. I'll get a stupid chocobo. Looks like you don't understand the meaning of walk only. After leveling up a few times and locking away my chocobo whistle with an occult ritual, it's time to go over the plan. Our first target is a skilled commander, Riditin... seriously? Riditin Sas Arvina, a tribunus of the 14th Legion. Taking him out will be a massive blow to the Garleans, so we're off to kill him first. This fella is an amalgamation of everything we've learned already, with a few new tricks. Honestly, if I tried to explain every mechanic this guy has, I'd be here all day, so I'll just let you witness my struggle. After we swiftly dispatch his underlings, Britain flies into a rage against us, transcending his physical limits. Oh, that is so unfair. That was by far the hardest thing I've done so far. Thank God he's dead. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm not doing this shit again. Jesus fucking Christ. Alright, we killed Tintin and Castrum Occidens. What's next for us? I'm glad you asked. Our next target is Castra Meridianum, a very well-guarded Garlean fortress. Luckily, I have ungodly strength. Before that, I quickly hit level 50, and quickly finished off the Bard quests. With some fresh drip, it's time to continue on with pummeling the Garleans. Looks like it's finally time. Alright, I gotta thank the squad for helping out with this one. We got Asha, Lariat, Irikima, and Ducky Bunny. Big thanks for the assistance. This guy is just a pushover. He summons lots of ads, but doesn't do much else of note. Proximity AoEs on this one have a long activation time, so they're really easy to move away from. This AoE is a little harder to avoid, but the boss moves to the center before using it, so it's easy to know when it's going to happen. At the end of the line, we find Livia, the one who invaded the Waking Sands and personally killed Neuraxia, and another Tribunus of the 14th. Okay, these guys are really doomed. Good God, she's crazy. We know what has to be done, so all that's left is to do it. So she's, actually pretty strong. Thank God. With the castrum cleared, we're now off to storm the Praetorium, the place where the Ultima weapon is being stored. Compared to what we've just been through, this guy is absolutely nothing. Normally you'd mount up on this Magitech armor, the very same one that we stole before. But you know the rules by now, right? So there will be no shortcuts for us. This was incredibly chaotic without the armor, and truth be told, I didn't even know you didn't need it until I was told by Eric. Despite never mounting up, the cutscene puts us in the armor, and Sid tells us how to put this thing into overdrive. I never used it to move, so I guess it's fine. Our next opponent is Nero Tolskeva, Gaius' second in command and the childhood rival of Sid. At the start of the fight, Nero puts a ring of electricity around the arena. Obviously it will hurt you if you step in it, so you just have to avoid it. This AoE is rough to avoid, but I could have dodged it if I wasn't standing so far from the center. With Nero defeated, only one more foe stands in our way, Gaius von Balzar.
Tell me, for whom do you fight? Do you believe in Eorzea? Eorzea's unity is forged of falsehoods. Its city-states are built on deceit, and its faith is an instrument of deception. For the world of man to mean anything, man must own the world. To this end, he hath fought ever to raise himself through conflict, to grow rich through conquest. And when the dust of battle settles, it is ever the strong who dictate the fate of the weak.
Alright, let's see who the weak one is then. Gaius is crazy good with the sword and can make these crosses that'll shoot out after a bit, so you don't want to be in front of him. He can also make weird phantom clones of himself that also do the cross thing. Well, you guessed it, you don't want to be in front of them. This one is just a lot. At the end of the fight, Gaius summons 4 phantom clones, and we have to beat them up before he does his big attack or we'll die. This is a classic DPS check. Plus everything else we've had to deal with in this fight. Gaius flees into the other room after his defeat, and we give chase. He climbs on in, and now we have to face off against the Ultima weapon. The Ultima weapon is, as advertised, pretty darn powerful, and it's gorged itself with 3 primals. Just like Heidelin promised, she's helping us out, and without her, we'd be super dead. Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, we fought them all before, so what's the difference if we have to again? One by one, Heidelin rips the primals out of the Ultima weapon. And after a long struggle, we've now deprived it of the primals it used.
Can her strength truly be so great?
It is the blessing of light that confounds you. Your foe acts under the protection of the crystal she bears. If you are to prevail, the hammer of darkness must needs be brought to bear upon the shield of light. And so it shall, for the Ultima weapon is host to a power of which you are as yet ignorant.
Lahabrea, what have you done?
No more than was necessary for my god to be reborn. The hour is at hand. Behold but a sliver of my god's power. From the deepest pit of the seven hells to the very pinnacle of the heavens, the world shall tremble. Unleash Ultima!
Such devastation! This was not my intention!
Oh, Heidelin. It seems the task of keeping your champion alive has exhausted what strength you had left. Van Belsar, your enemy's shield is broken. The rest I leave to you.
Alright, I don't need a shield to punk this fool, let's go. I've practiced for this moment, I'm not gonna get hit by a stupid AoE.
Heed me. The subjects of a weak ruler must needs look to a higher power for providence, and their dependence comes at a cost to the realm. The misguided elevate the frail, and the frail lead the people astray. Unless a man of power wrests control, the cycle will never be broken. You of all people must see the truth in this. You who have the strength to rule.
Pathetic. You boasted of unrivaled power. You were entrusted with the ultimate weapon. the ultimate magic.
Lahabre explains his beliefs to us. To the Ascians, Hydaelyn is a source of corruption, destroying the world, and only the return of their god can fix things. But to bring their god back, summoning primals is a necessity, and so...
You will not leave this place alive. It is past time your flame was extinguished, bringer of light.
Let's see how that pans out for you. Okay, all jokes aside, this guy is way beyond our pay grade as a level 50 hero, so it's gonna be a toughie. Unfortunately for us, high difficulty content at this level means a ton of AoE dodging. Part of the way through the fight, we're given an unwinnable DPS check. We just aren't strong enough. And so our journey comes to an end, defeated by a being far beyond us. Or does it? Everything is the same as before, except now we're stronger, faster, and sturdier.
If thou wouldst pierce the shadows, make thee a blade of light.
Purge the Ascian from Thancred's body with a bow formed of light.
What?
And then blast the ever-living hell out of it.
It binds them. They are too many!
We're stuck with Thancred and the exploding remnants of the Praetorium, and hope seems to be lost. Until our old friend arrives to cart us to safety. So of course we skedaddle as fast as we can.
And so my conquest ends, Sid. In smoke and ashes.
Yes! The hero returns!
Look! Thancred is with her!
Thank the 12!
With this, A Realm Reborn has been finished, with RP Walk toggled on at every moment. Though it was challenging, more awaits us yet. Much, much more.